Imagine waking up one day and realizing the moment that almost broke you was actually the moment that built you. The failure you're still embarrassed about, the setback you wish never happened, the door that slammed shut in your face. What if that was the training ground for the life you're about to live? Stay with me, because once you understand this, you'll never look at failure the same way again. Failure is not an accident on the road to success. It is the training ground where success quietly prepares you. Every failure you experience is teaching you skills that your future success will absolutely demand, whether you realize it in the moment or not. When people look at successful individuals, they see confidence, calm decision making, resilience under pressure, and clarity of purpose. What they rarely see are the countless failures that shaped those qualities long before success arrived. Failure is not punishment, it is practice. It is life putting weight on the bar before asking you to lift something heavier later. Think about how skills are built in the real world. No athlete becomes strong by lifting weights that feel easy. No pilot becomes calm in turbulence by only flying on sunny days. No leader learns to make hard decisions by always being right. In the same way, no successful person develops the inner skills required for greatness without failing first. Failure trains patience when results don't come quickly. It trains discipline when motivation fades. It trains problem solving when the original plan collapses. And most importantly, it trains emotional strength, the ability to keep going even when your confidence has been shaken. Consider Thomas Edison, a name synonymous with invention and brilliance. Before he successfully created a practical electric light bulb, he failed thousands of times. When asked about those failures, he famously said he didn't fail. He found thousands of ways that didn't work. What people often miss is that each failed attempt taught him something specific. One failure showed which materials overheated. Another revealed which filaments burned too quickly. Another taught him how electricity behaved under certain conditions. By the time he succeeded, Edison wasn't just lucky, he was trained. His failures had refined his thinking, sharpened his experimentation process, and built a level of persistence that success itself would later require. Without those failures, even if he had stumbled upon the right solution by accident, he wouldn't have had the depth of understanding to scale it, improve it, and change the world with it. Failure also trains humility, a skill success desperately needs. When things go right early in life, it's easy to become arrogant, to believe talent alone is enough. Failure strips that illusion away. It forces you to confront your limits, your gaps in knowledge, your weak habits, and your blind spots. This is painful, but it is necessary. Many people who rise too fast without failing fall even faster because they never develop the humility to listen, to learn, and to adapt. Failure teaches you that you don't know everything, and that realization becomes your greatest strength later. The most successful people are often the best listeners, the most curious learners, and the quickest to adjust, precisely because failure taught them how dangerous ego can be. Look at Michael Jordan, widely considered one of the greatest athletes of all time. He was cut from his high school basketball team. That moment crushed him. He cried, doubted himself, and felt humiliated. But that failure trained something inside him that talent alone never could. It trained obsession. It trained work ethic. It trained mental toughness. Jordan didn't just practice more, he practiced with purpose. Every missed shot, every lost game, every criticism became fuel. Later, when he faced high-pressure moments in the NBA, last-second shots, hostile crowds, championship-deciding games, he already knew how to function under emotional pain. Failure had trained him to stay focused when fear tried to take control. His success demanded that skill, and failure was the only teacher capable of giving it to him. Failure also trains judgment. Early in life, most people make decisions based on hope, excitement, or what sounds good in the moment. Failure introduces consequences. It shows you what happens when you rush, when you ignore warning signs, when you trust the wrong people, or when you avoid doing the hard work. Over time, these lessons sharpen your instincts. You begin to recognize patterns. You start sensing when something isn't right, even if you can't explain it logically. That intuition isn't magic. It's trained awareness built through past mistakes. Success later depends heavily on this kind of judgment. When opportunities get bigger and stakes get higher, one bad decision can cost years. Failure prepares you to choose wisely when it truly matters. A relatable example can be found in entrepreneurship. Many successful business owners failed at their first ventures. Their early businesses might have collapsed due to poor pricing, weak marketing, bad partnerships, or lack of financial planning. At the time, these failures feel devastating. Money is lost, confidence takes a hit, people criticize, but hidden inside those experiences are critical They learn how cash flow actually works, not just in theory. They learn how to read people better and avoid toxic partnerships. They learn the importance of systems, consistency, and customer trust. When they launch their next business, they are operating at a completely different level. Their success isn't accidental. It is built on the training failure provided. Failure trains emotional regulation, one of the most underrated skills in life. When something goes wrong, emotions surge: anger, shame, fear, disappointment. Early failures often overwhelm us because we haven't learned how to sit with those emotions without letting them control our actions. But each failure gives you another chance to practice responding instead of reacting. Over time, you learn how to pause, breathe, reflect, and choose your next move deliberately. This skill becomes invaluable later, especially in leadership, relationships, and high-stakes situations. Success brings pressure, criticism, and responsibility. Without emotional control, success can destroy you. Failure quietly prepares you to handle that pressure without breaking. J.K. Rowling's story illustrates this powerfully. Before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon, she was a struggling single mother, living on welfare, facing rejection after rejection from publishers. Each rejection hurt. Each one tested her belief in herself and her story, but those failures trained resilience. They trained faith in her own voice. They trained her to keep writing even when no external validation existed. When success finally arrived, it arrived fast and overwhelmingly. Fame, money, and global attention can crush people who aren't prepared. Rowling later said that hitting rock bottom gave her a solid foundation to build her life upon. Failure trained her to survive emotionally, which allowed her to thrive when success came. Failure also trains consistency. When things are going well, consistency feels easy. When things are failing, showing up becomes a discipline. Failure teaches you how to work without applause, without reassurance, and without immediate rewards. This is critical because most meaningful success requires long periods of invisible effort. People often quit not because they lack ability, but because they lack the habit of continuing when results are slow. Failure builds that habit. It teaches you that progress is not always visible and that persistence itself is a skill. Later, when success requires years of sustained effort, you already know how to keep going. Even in everyday life, failure plays this role. A student who fails an exam learns how to study smarter, manage time better, and handle disappointment. A person who experiences a breakup learns communication, emotional boundaries, and self-respect. Someone who gets rejected from a job learns how to present themselves better, develop new skills, and handle rejection without losing self-worth. These lessons are not abstract, they are practical tools. When life later offers bigger opportunities, the person who has failed before is often better equipped to seize them. The key is not just experiencing failure, but extracting the lesson from it. Failure trains skills automatically, but only if you reflect instead of retreat. After failure, ask yourself what it revealed about your habits, your preparation, your mindset, or your strategy. What did it teach you about yourself? What skill did it force you to confront as missing or underdeveloped? When you treat failure as feedback instead of a verdict, you turn pain into progress. This mindset transforms failure from something to fear into something to use. Success is not gentle. It demands discipline, clarity, resilience, humility, emotional strength, and consistent effort. These are not skills you develop in comfort. They are forged in difficulty. Failure is the gym where these muscles are built. You may not feel productive in the moment, but it is shaping you in ways comfort never could. One day, when success arrives and asks more from you than you thought you could give, you'll realize you've already been trained for this moment. So if you are failing right now, understand this: you are not behind. You are in training. The frustration you feel is teaching patience. The mistakes you made are sharpening your judgment. The setbacks you face are strengthening your resilience. The doubt you overcome is building confidence that doesn't depend on external approval. Stay present, stay reflective, stay committed. Because every failure you survive is quietly preparing you for a level of success you are not yet ready to imagine, but are actively becoming ready to handle. So if you're standing in the middle of a setback right now, feeling tired, discouraged, or questioning yourself, understand this with absolute clarity. Nothing about this moment is wasted. This is not the end of your story, and it is not proof that you are incapable. It is proof that you are being prepared. What feels like delay is discipline being built. What feels like rejection is redirection sharpening your path. What feels like pain is strength taking shape where weakness once lived. One day, you will step into opportunities that demand courage, wisdom, patience, and resilience, and when that moment comes, you won't rise by accident. You will rise because you earned it here. Starting today, stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this teaching me? Take responsibility for the lesson, apply it immediately, adjust your habits, refine your thinking, and move forward with intention. You don't need to wait for confidence to act. Action is what creates confidence. You don't need permission to begin again. You only need the courage to take the next step. Even if that step feels small, take it anyway. Momentum is born from movement, not perfection. Remember this deeply. The future version of you, the one who is stronger, wiser, calmer, and successful, is being built right now through the challenges you are facing today. Do not quit on the very process designed to elevate you. Stand up, learn the lesson, and move forward with your head high. Because when success finally arrives and asks, "Are you ready?" you'll be able to answer without hesitation, without fear, and without doubt. Yes, I am ready, because failure trained me for this moment.